Hi guys, today we're going to talk about adding and subtracting decimals. And the I can statement we're working on is I can add, subtract, multiply, and divide multi-digit numbers involving decimals. And for today's lesson, we're going to focus on adding and subtracting decimals. Now, before we get started, you're going to set up your paper a little differently than we normally do. Instead of holding your paper vertically, you're going to turn it so that the lines go vertically instead of horizontally down the page. And you will put the title of this lesson and the date above the red line. You're also going to divide your paper in half, or fold it in half, down the center this way, and put your work here and your summary here with your question at the end. So let's talk about how we add 3 and 25/100. When I set this up, I'm going to put 1 digit per space. And I'm also going to keep in mind that when I add decimals, I must line up the decimals. So the decimal of each of these numbers is right on top of each other. Now you'll notice we're missing a value right here. Since there is no value there, and I know I can add zeros to the end without changing the value of the number, I'm going to put a 0 in as a placeholder. Now I can add, as I normally do, starting with the lowest place value. 0 plus 5, or 0 thousandths plus 5 thousandths is 5 thousandths. 5 hundredths plus 7 hundredths, or 5 plus 7, gives me 12. 12 hundredths. And as we know, 12 hundredths is really 1 2/10 of a tenth. So I'm going to add that tenth up here. And 1 plus 2 is 3/10. And 3 plus 0 is 3 ones. This is my sum. Now it's your turn. In the work section of your notebooks, go ahead and write or find each sum. Before you can get started though, you're going to need to set up this problem so that it's vertical. So for example, with number 1, I'm going to line up my decimals and add the 0 right here as a placeholder. Pause the video now and complete 1 through 4 in the work section of your WSQ. And when you're done, hit play again, because we have a little more to talk about. Okay, let's talk about subtraction. Again, I'm going to use the vertical lines to help me line up my place values, writing 1 digit per space. Again, since I'm missing a value in the thousandths place of my second number, I'm going to put in a 0 as a placeholder. Then I'm going to proceed to subtract as normal. 5 minus 0 gives me 5 thousandths. 7 minus 5 gives me 2 hundredths. Now here, I don't have any tenths to take 2 tenths away from. So I'm going to split up this 1 and make that this whole, 3 wholes, and make it a 2, and turn this into 10 tenths, or 10. So 10 minus 2 is 8. 2 minus 0 is 2, and I bring down my decimals. Now it's your turn. Find each difference. Remember, just like with addition, you first need to line up your decimals and write your problem vertically. So number 5 would look like this, putting that 0 in as a placeholder whenever needed. We're done with the lesson. Pause the video now and complete these 4 problems in your notes in the WSQ. Don't forget in your summary to write at least 3 things you learned from this video. And write a question at the end that you or someone else in the class may have.